Hey guys, welcome back to the wood shop. I've brought you several videos in the past of Harbor Freight woodworking tools, and today I thought we'd switch it up a little bit. We're going to show you some from Amazon. Harbor Freight has physical stores you can walk into and browse aisle by aisle. Amazon doesn't have it, so finding tools may be a little more complicated unless you're looking for a specific tool or a product. So I thought we'd go over some of those today that not necessarily my top five, but five really good tools that you can find from Amazon, and they're not too terribly expensive, so just stick around. Okay, so the first thing I've got up here today, and I featured it in one of my previous videos, of Father's Day woodworking tools. So I thought I'd feature it again in this one since we're, specific to Amazon on this video. This is a fast cap tape measure. Not remembering the part number on this one in particular. You can get these around 10 bucks. What's pretty neat about this one, it says lefty and righty at the top, and what that means when you're looking at the measurements on the tape here, it's got measurements on both sides. So if you're right-handed like me, or maybe left-handed, it's easier to read it one way or another. Some of the other features in this one, it's got a little button here, of course, where you can retract it at your own pace. That's pretty handy, or you don't want to use the actual lock for it. Got the little belt clip. But probably one of my favorite features on this one, and I didn't think I'd use it, but I use it all the time, is the pencil sharpener. Just stick a little number 2 pencil in there, twist it around, and you've got her sharpened up again. Highly recommend that one. Okay, the next item I've got up is this Craig drilling guide, and what this does, it allows you to drill straight up and down. If you're just kind of eyeballing it here and you're drilling into that, odds are you're probably not going to get it exactly 90 degrees. And for some things that doesn't matter. If you're just maybe doing some framing work or something like that, it's probably not going to matter if it's perfectly 90 degrees. But if you're doing dowel work and you're trying to line some dowels up, maybe with another board you want to put in here, you want to keep that as straight as possible. So what this allows you to do is to sit that on there, use your drill, and of course you got to make sure you got the right size drill in, or excuse me, the drill bit in there. And it does have sizes marked on here, 1/2 inch, 3/8, that kind of stuff. And then that allows you to take your dowels, of course this one's exceptionally long, put it in there, drive it in, cut it off, and then you can line your next board up with it. But yeah, that keeps you drilling at 90 degrees, and for the cost, it's well worth it. Okay, so next up, you've seen us just drill in some dowels here, knock them in there, and of course, if you've got them as long as I've got this one, you're going to have a way of cutting them off. And this particular, it's a pull saw, Japanese pull saw, and this one is made by, I think it's called Suizan. Don't hold me to that. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. But you can find different lengths than these. You can get them double-sided, similar to the saw I've got here. But this makes an excellent tool for cutting these off, and mainly for doing dovetails too, especially in harder woods and that kind of stuff. So you can see here how quick that cuts through there. It's a good clean cut. Of course, that would have been more stable had I had it on its side. You could do it like that. And of course, getting a key, the key to getting a square cut is not doing this, but keeping your shoulders straight and your hands straight when you're cutting through. If you can do that, you can keep it good and square and save yourself a lot of work. Okay, so the next item I've got here, I wanted to kind of do a comparison. This one is a K-Curie. Like I said, that's probably another one. I'm probably butchering that name. But they make a line of Japanese hand tools mostly. I've actually got a couple of the Japanese hand planes, the Japanese hand plane setting hammer and that kind of stuff. But I'd got this one not too awful long ago, and this is a marking knife. And as you can see here, this one has what literally looks like a knife in the edge of it. And so that makes a slicing cut. So you just set your measurement, lay it on your workpiece. You do a couple score cuts. And as you can see how precise that is. And what I want to compare that to is one that Harbor Freight's gotten. So, you know, some of their tools I do recommend. Unfortunately, this is not one of those. This is a marking knife as well. And it's a nice looking marking knife. It just doesn't function very well in my opinion. And what that one works with, got a little dust on it. You can see it looks like the head of a nail or something similar to that sticking out of there. And you would think that would be okay. What that likes to do, and the reason I don't like it, because it's not sharp like a knife, you can see the difference. That just tears the heck out of that wood and does not leave a clean finish whatsoever. So that is one of those things from Harbor Freight I don't recommend. And any of these, if I'm recommending them, I feel like they're a good tool, and vice versa. If I'm telling you it's not a good tool, in my opinion, it's not. And so that one, for the most part for me, has just been a dust collector, because once I got it, I really didn't like it. I threw it in the drawer and that's where it stayed. But highly recommend this one by K-Curie. And you know, on that one, the results speak for themselves. Okay, so stick around to the end. I've got one other little item I'm going to show you besides this one. It's not necessarily a woodworking tool, so just hang around for that. But the last item I wanted to show you as far as a woodworking tool, I'm sure if you are in woodworking at all, you've heard of Narex chisels. And I have a separate video on making the handles for these. And you know, I've got loads and loads of comments of, you know, where I got chisels that didn't have handles on them, or where I got these ferrules for these. And I'll link that in the description, but these are Narex chisels. Like I said, you can get these from Tay Tools, of course, which supplies those, but you can also get them from Amazon, which Tay Tools is a seller on there. So you're essentially getting it from the same place. But you get the chisel, of course the chisel cover, you get the ferrule here, and there's a leather, I'm not sure what the name of that thing is, but it's a leather stop right here. And then of course you're required to make the handles and stuff, epoxy them in place, or however you choose to do that. I epoxied them. But like I said, I'll link that separate video in the description. And you can see here, I've not went through the detail of sharpening every single one of these yet. I literally just finished with the video of making the handles. But I sharpened the one here, and so far it is excellent. You can see the shavings I'm getting from that. But so far, no issues, of course. Like I said, I just got done with it. Highly recommend these things. So, yeah, see if you're interested in making you some handles for these. These I turned on the lathe. Just check out Narex Chisels on Amazon. Okay, and so the bonus little thing I wanted to show you, it's not necessarily a woodworking tool. You can see here. I picked this up on Amazon. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was a early Black Friday sale or something. I've just had it a few months. But this lumber rack here, I found this one, and on the sale, I got it for literally around $20, so it wasn't very expensive. Now mine was a little more in depth as far as hanging it up. I'm sure most of you guys got, you know, 2x4 walls and that kind of stuff. Well, the shop I'm in does not have 2x4 walls. It's solid metal panels and they're insulated and that kind of stuff. So I'd get a little creative. I put some boards onto the wall and then attach these to the boards. But either way, they work great. They're good and strong. They hold quite a bit of lumber. Of course, you can see I've got a little bit of a mess as far as that, but some of my longer pieces, they fit on there with no problem, and got plenty of room. So yeah, I recommend those. So hopefully, guys, you found some tools here that you may want to add to your workshop, or if nothing else, at least give you an idea of something you might be looking at in the future. I try to give you examples of tools I use all the time instead of just something I bought there and don't really use it. So I use those quite a bit. But anyway, I appreciate you watching, subscribing, all that good stuff. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video.